Hello, welcome to That Computer Is Your Mom, a Gem in the Holograms podcast. This is Allie.
And Josh.
And this time we're doing Season 1, Episode 7, Starbright, Part 2, Colliding Stars.
I don't remember any stars actually colliding in this episode.
Well, certainly no one said colliding stars in the way that Jem screamed, "You're a falling star" at Pizzazz in the last one and threw a star at her face.
Is that what the last one was called?
Falling stars? Yeah. It's the titular line.
Yeah, right. So nothing like that.
Nothing like that happened in this one. Oh, boy. This is not a good one.
You didn't think so?
I prefer it more when it's less soapy and completely just ridiculous wacky schmacky.
It's true. There weren't a lot of really ridiculous songs in this one.
Nothing super ridiculous even happens.
No. They just kind of remember that they have that record company. That's kind of...
That's true.
Oh yeah, the record company. That's something we should deal with at some point.
Alright, so let's begin at the beginning. In the last episode, Jem was told that Bonnie, if she didn't get an operation, was going to go blind.
True.
And that's where we pick up immediately.
Right.
So
she's talking with the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
And he says that there is an experimental operation that could be done with lasers.
Weird. Lasers?
But it would cost $250,000.
Here's the thing. Literally no one on this show has insurance of any kind. When their house burned down, they were like, oh no, what are we going to do?
That's true.
And now that Bonnie needs surgery, they're like, oh no, how are we going to get the entire $250,000? I mean, I guess you could argue since it's experimental, sometimes they don't pay for things that are experimental. I mean, we're in the U.S.
Yeah.
This is supposedly taking place in the USA. Who knows where it's actually out of? I mean, I think
it's
it is.
It's supposed to be taking place in Los Angeles, right?
I mean, they never say that, but I think that that's true.
I mean, that's the only place where you get directors just offering you their spare mansion, right?
Because that's the thing that happens.
Yeah.
I just,
No, I'm pretty sure Ron Howard has done that 3 or 4 times. Just been like, there's another mansion on my property, so... why don't you take it, rising pop star?
I feel like that's how Kevin Smith got Ben Affleck's old mansion.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I think he had to pay money, but...
Sure.
So... At any rate, nobody has insurance.
Mm-mm.
Number 2, when has the doctor ever known what anything fucking costs?
Oh, that's a good question.
They don't know.
No.
They're just like, yeah, maybe you could try a thing, and then you do the thing, and then later you realize how much it costs, and you get 5 to 50 pieces of fucking mail about it over the course of a year.
That's a good point. They probably don't even know.
But, I mean, it's a kid's show, so...
Right.
So it costs $250,000 to use lasers.
Yeah.
What are these...
They should have just seen if Synergy could do it.
With her lasers?
A hologram is pretty much a laser, right?
I guess. I mean, Synergy can do, everything else.
Yeah.
But then they'd have to...
Can do sound, which is not a hologram.
No. Nope. Let's see. And she can also decide what, they should be saying.
Yeah.
In, context.
Mm-hmm.
We find out that Bonnie is 8 years old.
She did not look 8 years old.
No, she's 8 years old.
Going on like 14.
Ashley is 13. They both look like just smallinated adults.
Yes. Like, the animators of this have gone with the medieval approach of just drawing an adult but smaller.
There's no way to know how old anyone is. Because, like, I mean, Eric Raymond looks old, but then,
he just has weird, messed up lines on his face. He doesn't even really look old. That was weird. The cat just jumped on me.
Well, she decided it was time to go, so she left. Sparkles didn't give a shit about Jim and the Holograms.
No.
She's like, who cares about that? And then, you know, can't really argue. So, they're talking amongst themselves. The Holograms are with Jerrica. So Jerrica gives them, like, the lowdown.
Mm-hmm.
After Bonnie in the car, like, sadly is like, Jerrica?
Mm-hmm.
She's practically got like a they've made her so sad and pathetic.
Yeah, she
practically has like
Tiny Tim of the
a sort of Tiny Tim lisp.
Yeah.
She's like, Jawaka, will they really be able to fix my eyesight? Oh, and then like so they have her talking like a 5-year-old, and she looks like she's 13.
And then Jerrica just straight up lies to her.
And Jerrica's like,
yeah, it'll be fine.
She says, yes. with her trembly lip and like, you know, like she's about to cry. Like, I mean, she's supposed to be 8 years old, not a dodo. Like, you know, if you're like, is everything gonna be okay? And you were like, oh. While you like manfully tried not to cry and tears were spilling down your face, Kim will be like, well, I guess I'm gonna die.
Manful is the adjective I usually think of when I think of the characters in Jim and the Holograms.
Yes, they're all very manful except for Rio.
Except for Rio. What a putz.
He is a putz. So Jarek is talking with the... Do you want to take this part with the other holograms about what are they going to do?
Okay, so they go over their options as far as paying for it goes. And they are like, we can't, basically. We can't go on tour, we can't. It's...
Yes, Shannon's like, we canceled all our dates to do this movie.
Right. Why they couldn't just schedule a new tour, I didn't really understand, but...
They did say Bonnie's going to be blind in 2 weeks.
Oh, that's true. So... but... So they need something, and then... Who remembers that they own a record company?
It's Aja.
Aja remembers that they own a record company. So they're like, oh yeah, there's a record company. Like, that often has revenue. A company that you own. So they go there, and all of the lights are off, and all of the office furniture and everything is being removed from the building. And they talk to an employee. I don't remember her name.
She looks like a secretary,
Like
maybe?
a secretary, yeah. And she says, basically, Eric Raymond spent all of the company's money on promoting the Misfits.
It sounded like he, quote, promoted the Misfits.
Right, probably just promoted the money away. But it's like, where was Jerrica when this was happening, right? It was always half hers, right? And now it's all hers, and she just forgot that it was a thing.
That is what happened. Yeah, because she's like, hey, Kimber, let's write a check to the phone company, and then...
Like, that hasn't been done because she has forgotten that they own a record company. Like, the monthly bills have not been being paid because they just forgot that was something that they had to do.
Yes! And the secretary, let's call her... Jenny.
Sure.
That's not her name, but we'll just call her Jenny. So Jenny's like, well, I would have done these things, but I didn't have the authority. And instead of being like, I, Jerica, will nominate you with the authority to do the things.
Mm-hmm.
She's just like, well, I'm in charge now, Jenny.
And then she's like super pleased with herself for doing it. She's like, now, no thanks to Eric Raymond. It's like, no thanks to you either. You were supposed to be running this place, apparently.
Like, how long has it been that you, like, won the Battle of the Bands and have had sole control of this company? How much time has transpired?
Apparently long enough for them to, like, shut off the electricity and the
all
phones.
the electric bills have been shut off, and they took all your furniture, and everyone's been fired.
It's pretty bad.
And it's just like, Jarek is like, whoopsie doodle, I'm back now. She doesn't even say whoopsie doodle. She's just like...
she's like happy with her performance here.
Her, like, performance review for herself is just, like, all 5 out of 5 stars.
Mm-hmm. Like, I did remember eventually.
And the woman says, Jenny says...
Yeah.
I tried to contact you over and over again until the phones were turned off. And Jerick is like, my job is, I'm doing a good job.
I wish there was a scene of her frantically trying to call Jerica over and over again.
It seems like a lot
they're
of...
taking the office furniture away. Like, there's an angry guy with a hand cart who is moving my desk right now.
I feel like Jerica needs an assistant. Or, like, she needs to program...
Or not to be the person who personally runs the record company.
Well, that too. She needs to delegate.
Yeah.
And she needs, like, to at least program, like, Outlook reminders to pop up in her fucking earrings and remind her to do shit.
But this is, like, before that. This is before email and everything, so...
I know, but she couldn't, like, tell Synergy to, like, boop her on her earrings when it's time to do shit.
Nope. She just has to remember it all.
Ugh. Who can remember things?
No.
That's the one place where I have, like, some sympathy, where I'm just like, look, remembering shit is hard. She needs a day planner. That's what people used to do before they had, like phone reminders.
Some people still have day planners.
Uh-oh.
That's right, Kitty.
Sparkles is angry.
Anyway.
Yeah, so then Aja's like, well, we're back in business, but we don't have any money.
Right, there's no revenue from the record company.
There's nothing to embezzle.
No.
Because Eric Raymond already embezzled it all.
Right. It was really just a question of who was going to embezzle it all.
Yeah, who was going to get there first.
Really, I don't feel worse that Eric Raymond got it than that she did, because they seem like equally irresponsible, and one of them is more moralizing than the other.
Well, I understand where you're going with that, but the show is trying to convince us that Jim at least would spend that money on a child who needs an operation. Where Eric Raymond is clearly spending it on sex workers and cocaine.
Well, they need to make a living too.
Fair enough.
I mean, the sex workers, cocaine doesn't need to make a living. But the cocaine sellers do.
They do.
So...
I feel like Eric Raymond took all that money and then just, like, dipped his wiener in cocaine.
Why would he do that?
I don't know, because it would definitely make his wiener go numb. But he would just be like...
Would it? I don't even know.
Yeah, it does. That's what it does.
Right.
He would be like, I have the power.
Oh, this took a turn. So anyway, like, this whole scene is just to say we remember that the music company is a thing, and no money is forthcoming from it, basically.
It's so weird, because the things that you would think would have consequences have zero consequences. Like, the to-be-continued stuff, like, barely ever has any consequences.
That's true.
And then the things that you would be like, oh, it's just a children's show, they're gonna be like, whatever. Like, no, they're talking about, like, people taking back rented office furniture, and, like...
It's true. It's
and,
so
like,
much more interested in, like, the business practices than any of the shows that are targeted at boys were, you know?
And, like, they're also interested in, like, the union
It's,
for
yeah.
the movie.
I mean, they mention the union, which I was kind of surprised by, actually.
That's more than anybody else ever
Yeah.
does, you know.
I mean, it was the 80s, so there were a lot more of them back then.
That's true. But, I mean, they're, like, you know, entertainment is still, like, heavily unionized. It's one of the
That's
last
true.
industries.
Yeah, that's true.
But... yeah, this is what I think. I think that, like, people are just like, what do girls like to watch shows about? And nobody knew. So they just, like, kind of made whatever. I think, you remember how we were talking on legitimately every episode we've ever done on this podcast about why does Jem have to have a secret identity? Or why does Jerica? I was wondering if it had to do with, like He-Man having a secret identity. Where it's
Does he?
Yeah, he's like Prince Andrew or something.
Right, but it's a secret?
Yeah, him being He-Man is a secret.
Oh.
And I didn't watch She-Ra very much, but I think that She-Ra is a secret too. So maybe that was just like, they're like, well...
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be a secret.
Mm-hmm.
It does create... It creates ridiculous tension, but it does create some tension.
It might also just be like... There's this idea that you can... That a normal person turns into this, you know, larger-than-life figure. So maybe you, who are a normal person, could do that too, right?
Oh, maybe so. I was just guessing that, like, the reason why Jem has a secret identity is because He-Man had a secret identity, and because Hasbro's like, we like a formula.
Mm-hmm. And you can sell 2 dolls.
That's true.
Or action figures.
That's a good point. Okay, so... Jerica says we have to go, since we can't embezzle the money for Bonnie's operation from the company.
Right.
We have
to go back to the movie.
We gotta go back to the movie.
Which is now a Misfits joint.
Right, and the other...
And an Eric Raymond joint.
Right, and the other holograms are like, no!
Mm-hmm.
And then, what does Jerica do?
She says, which one of you, like, wants to tell Bonnie that she's gonna go blind because we don't give a fuck about you? Not in as many words.
That's kind of what she does. Yeah,
and then they all get like a disturbed look on their face because none of them want to do that.
None of them want to be like, I am such a tool that I can't, like, take 2 weeks worth of work so you won't be blind forever.
Yeah.
So.
Even though that would be their preference.
Yeah, they really are just like, but like, what, you know, maybe we could unblindinate her later. Through the magic of holograms.
Maybe.
But that's not what they do. They go back.
Yep.
Then what happens?
Let's see. Well, Jerica has to make a deal with Eric Raymond. And part of the deal is that she will act as his personal assistant.
Which he's really pleased about.
Yeah. And then the Misfits are angry that they're returning to the picture. But, well, Pizzazz is.
Yeah.
But when they learn that they have to do, that is the holograms have to do whatever they say, then they're happier about the whole affair.
Mm-hmm.
And then shooting resumes, right? And what is the scene they're in? Like, it's very hard to tell what the movie is about because there's all sorts of crazy...
Oh, then the Misfits song happens. Where she's like,
Oh, yeah.
everyone's gonna be, what is it, celebrating me? It's not
Congratulations
Congratulations. She's like, congratulations to me! Congratulations to me!
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm very into this.
It's just all about rubbing the holograms' nose in their defeat, which is
I love
a
this.
favorite pastime of the Misfits.
I love this song. And she's just like, everyone's going to be saying congratulations to me. And then she just keeps screaming congratulations to me over and over again. And I love it.
And she drops a gem off of a camera crane.
Mm-hmm. And then the Misfits catch her in a fur coat and put a tiara on her head. This is still like in the song.
Yeah.
And then they're like, haha, and they throw her out of it.
It's not really your fur coat and tiara.
It's not really for you.
I guess this was back when fur coats were considered okay.
Yeah. This fur coat and tiara are for pizzazz.
Right.
Only for pizzazz. And pizzazz is like super excited about it.
She likes to win.
Yeah. And she likes for you to know that she's won.
Yeah. She also likes to kill her opponents, it seems like.
She's truly a role model for every girl. So at any rate, Jim's pretty sad when this is over.
Yep.
And Cod is there, and we found out what his real name was.
Did we? What was it?
It was Nick.
Nick, that's right. Nick and the other one. The stunt.
Greg.
Stunt Cod. Greg.
I don't know if his name is Greg.
Stunt Cod, then?
It was just called SC and Cod.
Why did we call him Cod?
Because you thought his name was Kyle. And I thought his name was Todd.
It was definitely not Kyle, though, was it?
No, it was Nick.
It was Nick.
It was...
He's not a very memorable character. He's just basically a blonde sneer.
It's true. We'll just keep calling him God.
Yeah, Cod. Cod and Stunt Cod.
Right.
There's a love triangle where Kimber is into Cod.
Right.
A.K.A. Nick. And Stunt Cod is into her.
A.K.A. Greg.
And Nick, or Cod, is into Jem.
I think he's into himself.
And himself.
Mostly himself. Okay, so...
So that's a quadrangle. Or a pentagon.
Uh-huh. A pentagon.
I guess I'm kind of counting him twice.
Pentagram.
Pentagram?
Yeah, they can just make a pentagram.
Yeah, what do you do with a love shape, like polygon, when one of the people is a narcissist?
I don't know. It gets very complicated.
Yeah.
Alright, so... a bunch of people are like, why'd they come back? She's so stuck up.
Mm-hmm.
And Rio...
Because the movie staff is still, like, against them, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them are.
That one makeup lady still hates her.
Right.
She was, like, very, susceptible to Pizzazz's extremely limited, like... Oh, no.
Kitty, no. No. being bad?
Just being really bad.
Okay.
He's trying to bite Foxy, and it's bad news. Okay, so what was I saying? Oh, just that, like,
she's susceptible to...
She's like, okay, so the makeup lady is extremely susceptible to Pizzazz's, like, not even, like, that convincing, like, tossed off one-liner about Jem being real snobby.
Well, Jem did refuse makeup assistance.
Go take a break.
It's highly unorthodox.
I guess.
I don't think you just say, no, I do my own makeup on a movie set, do you? That doesn't seem right.
No, I don't think you get to do that. But, like, you don't get to just embezzle money from the company that you have either.
So what you're saying is Pizzazz is basically right about her?
Yes. I said, congratulations to me. This whole time, too, like, Eric Raymond is being, like, a real dick. He's, like, ordering Jerica around. She's got a real,
There's a lot of business where, like, he tells her to do stuff, and she's got to, like, be both Jem and Jerica at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And so one of them has to be a projected image, and sometimes that's a problem because selectively they remember that the images can't interact with physical objects.
Right. That's the, like, major problem of,
It's pretty selective, though.
Yeah, that's one of the major problems. Synergy's not really in this episode. Rio's barely in it.
No, that's true. Hey.
Okay, if he does that one more time, we're going to have to pause so you can maybe put him upstairs.
A lot of catfighting going on here.
Yeah, it's a real cat-intensive episode. So, Jarek is pretty, like, you know, downtrodden by all of this having to do what other people tell him to do.
Everybody's real depressed in this episode. I mean, all of the heroes.
Mm-hmm. Jerica apparently has never had a job because...
Oh, you mean because she gets so upset about having to do things she doesn't want to?
Yeah. I mean, like, granted, he's being, like, Eric Raymond is being a douche. But, like, I've had worse bosses than someone who's just like, go get this thing for me.
Yeah.
So, you know.
I mean, he's an asshole about it, but it's not, like, stuff that's that unusual.
I wasn't getting $250,000 for it either.
No.
So, you know, I was making, like, $11 an hour. So anyway, Rio comes to Jem, or Jerica, and he's like, I'm done with that Jem woman.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what happens?
She just gets real angry with her, or with him, and, you know, says, what, does she explain why they're doing it?
Yeah, she's like, Jim only came back because I asked her to, because of Bonnie's operation that she needs.
Right.
So, mind your own business, you jackass.
Mm-hmm.
And so, she's kind of, like, every time.
And then he does his best impression of McNulty on The Wire.
Yeah, because he's like, what'd I do? So, you guys, we've been, like, rewatching The Wire. And there's this...
Yeah.
There's this woman in the, like, homicide office who's a, like, I guess she's supposed to be, like, a secretary or whatever.
Yeah.
Her name is Winona in the show. And she, like, lingeringly looks at the actor's butt, like, who plays McNulty, like, every time he walks by her.
Every time they're in the same scene.
Every time they're in the same scene, she gives him the, like, one over, up and down look, and then just, like, hardcore, like, stares at his ass. It is delightful. And considering how dark that show is, and there's not very much to look forward to as far as, like, lighthearted attempts at humor. That is pretty good stuff. So, get it, Winona. Alright. I just wanted to say, like, once again, the motivations of Jerrica as versus Jem in this love triangle. It's a line. It's a love line because they're the same fucking person. So it's not really a triangle. It's a line.
So I guess that's the answer about what you do when there's a narcissist. It's a love line.
Oh, okay. But, like, there's not two people, so it's just him and her, right?
Right.
But, like, her motivations just, like, don't ever make any sense.
Not really.
You know. So.
Oh, there's some real cat misbehavior going on right here.
Should I pause it?
Yeah, I guess so. Okay.
Okay, we're back. So I was just gonna say Jerrica and Rio, just that in the last episode, she was like, who is he kissing? Is it me or is it her? And in this episode, he's like, I'm done with Jem. And she's like, you don't know anything about her.
It's true.
Like, why don't you go show her your wiener right now? Do you know what I mean?
She's pretty inconsistent.
Alright, well, I guess I've gotten all the, like, all I can get out of that. So, I also wanted to mention, like, what is this movie even about?
It's very unclear. Some sort of demon idol is displayed in that sword fighting scene.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a motorcycle explosion scene.
Mm-hmm.
And there's giant log chasm scene.
There's a scene where they're all...
There's the casino scene.
There's a casino scene. There's a scene where Jem and the Holograms are, like, trapped in some kind of, like, prison in a cave. And they're all wearing, like, 80s peasant, like, the 80s version of, like, sort of peasant garb.
Which scene is this?
This is the one where, like, where Pizzazz tells Asha to get back in her cage.
Oh, I don't remember that.
We'll get to it in a minute.
Okay.
So she has that accident, right? Does the accident happen now? I think the accident happens now.
Oh, with the log?
The log accident.
Right. So, there's a scene in which Jerrica and Cod...
Let's say Cod.
Cod have to run across a giant log that is over a chasm. Chasm is the word they use.
Mm-hmm.
And there's kind of an argument about whether Jerrica is going to get a stunt double because Cod has a stunt double. That smiley guy. Greg. Who we're calling Greg. The one who's into Kimber.
Greg is into Kimber, yeah. But he also just seems kind of like, for the show, he's kind of like an affable dude.
Yeah. And so, yeah, there's an argument about that. Eric wants Jem to, like, pay for a stunt double if she's going to use one, so she's like, fine.
That's not how that works in any way.
No, but whatever.
Yeah.
It's also the director doesn't, like, fire the cinematographer and say, I'll be the cinematographer now.
Yeah, because what happens is that Greg is like, you can't do it this way. There's no, like, net. There's no bag for her to fall on. He uses, like, quite a few, like,
They
terms.
actually do use industry terminology. I mean, none of it is, like, anything like you imagine the people working in this industry would do, but they do seem to have some...
They use terminology that you, like, would not use or would not expect.
Yeah,
like,
from
an
a kid's
8-year-old
show.
to understand.
Yeah.
And so he's like, no, blah, blah. And Greg's like, I'm going to call the union.
Yeah.
And, like, and and basically Eric Raymond's like, this is my, like, set and I'll do what I want. And then the cinematographer quits.
Mm-hmm.
And
then he jumps on the camera and is like, I'll shoot it.
If I can be the director, then I can shoot the movie. And
I suppose that's true in a sense. Like, because he's probably not directing right either.
And you were like, no, that doesn't mean that. At that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, being a director is like a technical job, but being a cinematographer is an even more technical job. But at any rate, so he hops in the camera crane chair,
mm-hmm.
and
Jerica and Greg run across the...
Oh, it's just Jerica.
Oh, it is just Jerica, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then Rio goes after her to, like, help her, ostensibly.
Right. And Eric's yelling at her to do it, like, faster.
Right. And she gets distracted or something. Or maybe the prop just breaks.
Yeah.
But at any rate, the, like, log breaks into... Or the fake log.
Yeah.
And she's, like, gonna fall. And Rio rescues her Tarzan swing on a vine style.
Yeah. And Greg's like, just like Errol Flynn.
Right. And it's like, will any of the kids watching this know who Errol Flynn is?
I assure you I did not.
Zero members of the original audience would have known that.
Yeah, children in the 80s were real big Errol Flynn fans. I assure you. I've never seen an Errol Flynn movie. Until we started dating, I was like, I don't watch movies before Star Wars came out.
It's true.
And now I have watched a few movies from before then. Look, I like garbage things, okay? Like, I'm the one that was like, let's watch Gem. So, there you go.
It's true. I never proposed that we watch Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which occupied a similar role in my youth, I think.
Number one, we totally could.
I don't have any interest in doing that.
And number two, I think I watched it too.
Yeah.
I wonder what it would be like to watch, like...
Terrible.
You think it would be terrible?
I talked to Adam about it the other day. He said he watched an episode with somebody, and he said it does not hold up.
Adam, your brother?
My brother.
Yeah.
And I'm not at all surprised.
Okay, so... Yeah, so he rescues... So, Rio rescues Gem, and then they make out.
Yeah.
Like they always do.
Even though he was done with her, like, 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, neither one of them... Nobody can decide, like, what they're doing, as far as that goes. There's 2 Gem songs in this episode.
Yeah.
Do you remember them?
One of them is one of the most undermotivated songs that they've had so far, and occurs later and is like when Kimber has been brushed off by Cod for the dozenth time or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it's about like the weird, like love's weird, right?
Right.
Like that's the theme of the song. I don't remember what the other song is.
I just am like, celebration me.
Yeah, that was the highlight.
It's not even celebration. What was it?
It was congratulations
to me. Congratulations to me. I'm so into that. Okay, so...
Better than Making Mischief?
No, Making Mischief is still my favorite. But, congratulations to me. And also the one where they make the holograms shovel money into their car.
That was a good one.
That was a good one. Nothing that the holograms have done has been as good as the, like, one where they, like, ride a unicorn on a rainbow. Like, that was the...
It's hard to top.
Yeah, that was the stuff. Okay, so, what is the other... Oh, video. The woman who does videos
Mm-hmm.
has taped this accident.
True.
And
This is another subplot that doesn't really go anywhere.
yes. So what happens with that?
She tapes this, like, gross violation of safety standards.
Mm-hmm.
It becomes known to her cousin, Clash,
Right.
the one of banging her wrist cymbals together fame.
Yes.
And
so, of, like, doing whatever pizzazz tells her to fame.
So Clash has been sent to destroy the video evidence, and she goes to some guy who I guess works at the studio. It's kind of unclear. And asks him, or tells him to give her a magnetic tape eraser, and then calls him a nerd.
That is my favorite part of the episode, is where she says nerd in such a disgusted voice that it's, like, hilarious.
He is wearing glasses, so he is a nerd.
And, because he says that the Misfits movie is not going well, and then she goes, nerd!
And then she goes and erases a tape that is labeled Gem Accident, I think.
Yeah.
But little does she know that video has planted that tape. It is in fact a tape of the Misfits something. They peel off the label and it says Misfits, and they say, haha, it was a Misfits video.
Yeah.
What exactly the content of it was, not known, and presumably not important.
I mean, I guess what they're trying to say here is they have to make the Misfits think that they've erased it, or they're going to keep trying to do something about
I guess.
her taping. That is not said in any way.
No.
Why she felt the need to, like, allow her to erase this, like, one.
It's true. She could have just taken it off-site somewhere.
Yeah.
But this is the way they chose to go with it.
Yeah, and then Greg is like, awesome, I can take this to the union now.
Mm-hmm.
And Jem's like, no, don't.
The weird thing is that all of them, like, all of the holograms and Greg and Video are all, like, hiding behind a backdrop, watching Clash erase the video. So all of them were, like, waiting for this and planning on it. But then after it's been done, Jem says, no, actually, we're not gonna expose this safety violation.
This, like, horrendously dangerous thing that is going on.
But which makes you think, like, why did she then, like, sit and watch that and not say, actually, we're not going to act on this information before they, like, went to all these lengths? Not only to make the video, but to make sure that it was kept safe.
Why doesn't she have any money?
Why doesn't Jem have any money?
On hand. So that she can pay for Bonnie's operation and not have to, like, almost die.
I don't know. Why can't she take out a loan or something? Who knows?
Yeah. Or you just be like, can I get on a Bonnie eyeball installment plan?
It does seem like she could just be billed for it, but...
Yeah.
Nothing to do with the money aspect of this show makes any sense at all.
No, it never does.
I mean, clearly they're operating on a level where you envision, like, shoveling money into cars is the main, like, form of financial transaction.
I have to be honest. I'm kind of waiting for this whole movie plot to be over.
Yeah.
Because the next episode after the movie plot is over is the World Hunger Shindig.
Oh, God. People gave a fuck about things in the 80s in a really weird way. In a not really way. Thanks, Reagan.
Oh, it's true. It was, like, enough of a thing that it got onto, like, Jim and the Holograms.
Yeah.
I just want to see, like, what the nuanced take about world hunger is.
When was Live Aid?
I don't know.
Was it before or after this?
I don't know. We could like, look it up.
That's okay.
Maybe I'll look it up before we do it, but...
Okay.
So, the next sort of plot point is this, like, motorcycle bike.
Is it?
Is there anything else that happens?
I don't remember.
I'm gonna say
That's probably it. Okay.
So, the next thing is this motorcycle bike thing. Oh, there's they're, like, talking about how... There's one scene where Kimber is like, oh, God, my scene with you is tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And you were like, what the hell are they wearing? What the hell are any of them wearing? Because you thought what they were wearing looked crazy.
Oh, yeah. Where they were just back in their palatial estate.
Mm-hmm.
And... Well, it was just like, it's the evening, right? They're just like winding down after work in their like evening 80s going out clothes and eyeshadow.
I was just like, casual beret.
Yeah. A lot of berets.
A lot of berets. A lot of like multicolored. Like, it's not just like eyeshadow. It's like 5 different colors
it's like
of eyeshadow.
Different colors on the same eye.
Yeah. Which is a thing that people do now, but not that many people. Like,
It's a lot of work if you're staying in.
It is. People are really good at makeup, maybe? I don't know. But, yeah, so... Oh, and then Bonnie's like, she's like, Jerica.
Mm-hmm. We actually get, like, Bonnie's deteriorating vision cam.
Mm-hmm. She's like, Jerica, is that you? They really have made her sound like a really, like, just sad teddy bear 3-year-old.
And she's trying to read a book.
Yeah, she's trying to read a book, and she's like...
I'm failing.
Jerica, when will I get my operation? And Jerica's like, it'll be soon, Bonnie. It'll be soon. And then she tucks her in and, like, cries a little.
Does she cry? I forgot about that.
Maybe I made that up. I don't know.
No, she probably does.
She, like, kisses her on the cheek. This is, like, the most interaction she's had with any of the orphans.
Except, what's her name?
What, Ashley?
Yeah.
This is more interactions that she's had with Ashley.
It's more positive interactions.
Oh, true. Ashley just needs to get some sort of horrible disease. And then she too can have good interactions with Jem. Okay, so then it's time for Kimber's amazing, like, much anticipated scene with the mighty cod.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens?
Well, she tries to talk to him about it, and he is exactly as dickish as he always is.
Mm-hmm.
But then some random fan, like, wanders onto the set, it seems like, and he reacts badly, which is actually kind of understandable if it's actually on the set where filming is taking place.
Mm-hmm.
Like, fans should not be able to do that.
Right.
But at any rate, he does not want to sign her autograph. And Kimber finally realizes, having seen him treat this random stranger in the way that he has been treating her for the entire duration of the shooting, that he is a dillhole.
Yes.
And so she wanders off and starts talking to Stunt Cod, who we're calling Greg.
Who?
Was he actually called Greg? No.
No, I don't think so.
No. Greg. And
if they said his name, I have long forgotten.
And he is very happy to be being shown her attention. Because
He
this
seems
is what
pretty
he always
affable.
wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, he's a nice guy. He's just a nice guy. And so he explains to her how the explosion charges are going to work and how he's going to ride through them on the motorcycle.
Kimber has a stunt double.
And how Kimber has a stunt double who has hair that is like hers under the helmet.
It is unclear how any of these pieces go together to make a movie.
No. I kind of wonder if that was something that they thought of. It may even be kind of a joke.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But
it's a little subtle for this show if it is. But maybe.
At any rate. So Greg's explaining to Kimber.
Yes. And then does he offer to kiss her for good luck, or does she?
He asks her.
He asks her, that's right. And she does. And then he goes to get ready.
Yeah, he seems pretty charmed by the little kiss on the cheek that he's gotten.
Right. Well, because he's clearly, like, super into her.
Mm-hmm.
And then, which one of the misfits? Roxy also wants to kiss him for good luck. And he is disgusted by her advances, as all, ostensibly right-thinking characters seem to be by every member of the Misfits. Really, that seems to be the marker of a male hero in this show more than anything else, is disgust at the Misfits, which really kind of offers you a window into the attitude animating the show, I think.
Yeah. And so Roxy is mad.
Understandably. Her homicidal response is maybe less understandable.
Yes. So what does she do?
So they decide that they're going to mess with the explosive special effect. What is it? There's a guy who's controlling them, and they distract him in some way, and I don't remember what they do to distract him.
I don't either, but they distract him and turn the explosions on
early.
Right then.
So Kimber is in the middle of the explosives.
As they start going off.
And they start knocking her around.
Mm-hmm. And
then that's the end. It says to be continued.
Well, there's one thing that happens before then where she's like, God, help me. And he's got that little, speed racer
twitch.
Yeah. Did you notice that? It looked very Speed Racer where he had his mouth open and kind of was like...
You gotta say what it is.
Speed... Oh, yeah, I know. I mean, I know they can't see me, but he has his mouth open, and he kind of does this,
For the record, she is doing a Speed Racer face.
Big eyes, open mouth, kind of stricken look, kind of and sort of slightly twitching back and forth.
You imagine him going, oh.
Yeah.
But he doesn't, because it's not actually Speed Racer.
Right. And, but it looks extremely Speed Racer for about a half a second. And then, that's the to be continued.
Yeah.
So, what did you think about this episode?
Didn't sound like you cared for it very much.
It just was it was very, soapy and kind of, well, let's talk about, how we're making this dumb movie. And I'm just when are you going to ride a magical unicorn to a dolphin that takes you to space? That is what I am looking for in my gym episodes, not you guys arguing about who should talk to the union.
It's fair.
So
I liked the part when they remembered that they owned a record company. And then they were like, oh yeah, you have to do things to run a business.
Or at least designate someone to do them
or
for you.
Or put someone in charge of the doing things.
You dodo.
But you're right. This is not really the show's strength.
No, they're trying to be like, let me explain how the entertainment industry works, and I'm just like, oh, I don't care, and you don't
Also, you don't know how the entertainment industry works?
No.
I mean, more so than you would expect a show for 8-year-olds to... But still.
Yeah, it's sort of just like...
It's a weird one.
It seems like maybe Christy Marks needs like a vacation, let somebody else write a couple episodes, and then come back with some more like, crazy gargoyle shoving and,
Yeah, maybe that's what's missing.
Zipper?
Zipper, yeah.
Yeah. We haven't seen Zipper in a while, so...
Did he actually go to jail? Maybe he went to jail.
No.
You think,
I think Eric
Raymond's expensive lawyers kept him out of jail as well?
He's got like Levy from The Wire working for him.
All of our references will be analogies to The Wire.
That's your fault.
Well.
Okay, so on the outrageousness scale, from 1 being totally practically normal, everyday life, to number 5 being dolphin rides to space, where would you rate this?
I think I've been saying 2 for too many of them, but I'm tempted to say 2 again.
You're also tempted to say 2?
Yeah.
I feel like this is like very... I think I kind of have to give this a 1. Because like, as far as like the show goes, this is as like everyday life as anything ever gets, and it's like, oh, I have a job.
The Misfits are still trying to kill them, and...
Not really, though. I mean, it's like there was an accident.
The explosions? That's not an accident.
That's true.
They're like straight up trying to kill them.
Yeah, but I think that's their everyday life. Like, they're always going to be trying to kill them. If you say, like, trying to kill them doesn't merit a 1, like, it's never going to be a 1.
But, like, unicorns farting rainbows is also their everyday life, isn't it? Like, I don't think that really works as a...
Okay, well, I still think, like, for me...
Alright, that's fine.
The outrageousness level is dialed down pretty far.
That's true.
I can't really get behind anything in this episode. I think even the, like, trying to kill them, like, plot is kind of weak. So.
I really liked the remembering that they owned a record company part, but
no, that was
everything
fun.
Else was pretty dull.
Yeah, that was pretty fun. And I also...
And Zipper is sorely missed.
Zipper is sorely missed. And I liked Congratulations to Me.
Sure.
Quite a bit.
Yeah.
Okay, so... Rio's competency scale...
He's hardly even in this one.
He is hardly even in this one. 1 being, like, totally, utterly, like... I guess 1 is, like, total competency Rio, where he's, like, the man in charge getting it done. And then, like, 5-star on the competency scale is, like, his most incompetent self.
Huh.
Where he's, like, I fell over... Not I fell over. That's a bad one. Like, his legs fell off. His legs fell off.
I will say 2. He does very well in this episode.
I'd honestly give him a 1. I'd give him, like, total competence.
Okay.
Because he like, rescues Jem in a pretty, like, decent way.
Vine swinging.
With vine swinging, which is, like, pretty high-level competence.
He is a regular Errol Flynn.
He was a regular Errol Flynn. And he doesn't do anything that makes you want to be like, you dope. What did you do that for?
And he says, I'm tired of Jem's shit, which is appropriate as a reaction to her shit.
Yeah.
Which is tiresome.
It is. And,
certainly from his perspective.
I mean, I feel like once Bonnie has this operation, Jerica's gonna be sad because then she won't have anything to be like a real pill about. She's like, oh yeah? Well, I did it for Bonnie's operation. I mean, I know she'll find something else to be real pill about. Because
some other orphan with a rare disease or something.
Somebody else will end up with a rare disease.
You just have to keep adopting orphans with rare diseases to fuel her martyr complex.
Yeah. So, World Hunger Shindig. Look forward to that.
Still another one in between, though.
Yeah, that is. There was Falling Star. This one is something else. And then there's another one. Why did the Starbright movie need to be 3 episodes long?
Maybe they've got something really special planned for the conclusion.
God, I hope so. I don't have anything else to say about this episode.
Yeah.
It was kind of a yawner. So.
Well, maybe next time.
Maybe next time. World Hunger Shindig, you guys.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that one. Okay, so if you you can like us on Facebook. We have a Facebook page.
It's true.
It's just look up That Computer Is Your Mom.
Still hasn't been mentioned in the show.
Synergy was not in this episode. Mickey said she tried to look up Your Computer Is a Mom.
Is a mom.
And that didn't come up for anything.
Really? That small a change didn't do it?
She couldn't find the podcast.
Huh.
That Computer Is Your Mom.
It's your mom.
It's your mom. Not
a mom.
A computer is her mom.
It's not like any of these is more absurd than another.
I know. I'm being like, ha ha ha, what a I'm not actually. I think they're all hilarious. And any one of them could be plausible.
At what point should we say that is not actually what was intended in the show? That the computer was not meant to be her mom, but was just a computer?
Well, you don't know that. Because...
You mean even if we watch the whole show and it's never mentioned, we still don't know that?
Oh, well, I mean, at that point, yeah, you'd have to say that's, like, not a thing.
Okay.
But now it's, like, it's suspenseful.
Yeah.
So...
It seems like they would have said by now.
You do not know that.
No, that's true.
They just made up Pizzazz being rich out of nowhere.
You think that was not intended from the outset?
No.
Probably not. What about...
They were just like, remember Starlight Music? It's like... The thing is that's the thing about the Starlight Music part where they're like, it's not like, remember you have Starlight Music. It's like, you forgot about it, so now it's like going under. It's just such a bizarre, like, tack to take. But at any rate, we already covered that. So,
yeah.
All right, That Computer Is Your Mom. It's her mom.
It may be her mom.
This is Allie,
and Josh.
And this is Josh.
Yep.
And we'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.